What if I told you that managing your money could be as simple as following one rule? Just one easy rule that can completely transform your budget strategy. In today's video, I'm showing the 50-30-20 rule, a simple but powerful strategy that helped me take control of my own finances. Whether you're trying to save more, get out of debt, or just make sure you're not overspending each month, this rule is going to change the way you think about money, just like it did for me. I want to start by saying this: the 50-30-20 rule is a guideline. It won't apply perfectly to everyone, especially if you live in a high-cost area, have unique financial goals, or have a very different income. But the beauty of this rule is that you can tweak it to fit in your life. So don't worry if it doesn't match your situation exactly. You can always adjust the percentages to suit your needs. The first 50% of your income goes to your needs. These are the essentials: housing, food, utilities, transportation, basically the non-negotiables. For me, when I first started budgeting seriously, I realized I was putting way more than 50% of my income into things I thought were needs, but actually weren't. I was living in a much more expensive apartment than I really needed, and I was always buying premium groceries without even thinking about it. So I made a change. I moved to a slightly cheaper place, and I started meal planning. Just those two things alone freed up a ton of money for other categories, and it didn't even feel like a sacrifice. But here's the thing: not everyone can fit their needs within the 50%. If your rent or mortgage is eating up more than half of your income, it might feel like the 50-30-20 rule doesn't work for you. And that's okay. The important part is to understand the principle behind it. Keep your needs from overwhelming your budget. You can adjust other categories to make it work. And if you need to go over 50% for essentials, just tweak your wants or saving categories. Next, we've got the fun part. The 30% for your wants. This is where you get to spend on the things that make life enjoyable. Going out for dinner, treating yourself on new clothes, or buying that tech gadget you've been wanting. For me, this category was a revelation. I used to feel guilty every time I spent money on something fun, like grabbing coffee with friends or upgrading my phone. But once I started following the 50-30-20 rule, I realized I didn't have to feel bad about it because I had dedicated that budget for wants. One time I even saved up my entire wants budget for 2 months, just to spend it on a weekend vacation. And the best part, I didn't feel guilty about it, because I knew I could afford it. This is what makes the 50-30-20 rule so powerful. You get to enjoy your life and stay financially responsible. But here is a key point. If you feel like 30% is too much for wants, you can lower that and allocate more to savings or other financial priorities. It's all about balancing what's important to you. For me, once I started prioritizing my true wants, I felt way more in control of my spending, and I actually started enjoying my purchases more. And finally, the last 20% of your income goes towards saving and paying off debt. This is where your financial security comes from. Your savings account, your investments, or debt repayment. It's all about making sure you have a strong financial foundation for the future. Let me tell you, this part of the rule made the biggest difference in my life. A few years ago, I realized I wasn't saving as much as I wanted to, and I always felt like I was living paycheck to paycheck. But by sticking to the 50-30-20 rule, I was able to set aside 20% of my income every month specifically for savings. At first, it was tough, but then I saw my savings slowly grow, and it felt incredible to finally have a cushion. Once I built up my emergency fund, I was able to start focusing on long-term goals like investing. Trust me, the peace of mind you get from knowing you're financially secure is amazing. Whether you're paying off debt or building your savings, this 20% is going to help you break free from the paycheck to paycheck cycle. And here is a pro tip. Set up automatic transfers so that 20% of your paycheck goes straight into your savings account or towards debt repayment. That way you don't have to think about it. It's like paying yourself first. We are about to dive into the practical steps so that you can start using this rule today. Stay with me, this is where it all comes together. The first step is tracking your expenses. The goal here is to see where your money is going right now, so you can adjust your spending into the 50-30-20 categories. When I first tracked my expenses, I was shocked at how much I was spending on takeout and random Amazon purchases. It was a wake-up call for sure, but it also helped me realize where I could cut back without feeling deprived. Now I make sure those kind of purchases come out of my 30% wants budget. The easiest way to stick to this rule is to automate your savings and debt payments. Set it and forget it. I can't tell you how much stress it saves me knowing that my savings are growing without me even thinking about it. Life isn't always predictable, and that's okay. If you overspend in one category one month, Adjust your budget the next month. The 50-30-20 rule is flexible. Just keep the overall balance in mind and you'll be fine. Remember, you don't have to follow the 50-30-20 rule exactly. Use it as a guideline and adjust it to fit your life. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips on mastering your money. And if you're looking for a new side hustle, check out my video right here on 12 side hustles you can start today. I'll see you there.